my previous organization, a large conglomerate. When we had joined them, let's say when I moved to Bombay in 2011, a question that I always had in my mind, that why we don't get to see any advertisement, there is nothing. And we happened to talk to the chairman, an opportunity we got. I asked the question. The answer was that, we don't need to, our product sells. But fact is, today, you have that everywhere. I have their advertisements pretty much everywhere. They own the Mumbai Indians today, right? And of course, things have changed significantly, given the fact that the fact was it was largely B2B then, now it's B2C and to retail to another level altogether. So one of the questions which, I was talking to someone who's there in the organization, how do you approach, what is your strategy? How do you approach customer outreach and so on? So one thing which remained with me, it said that it depends on what kind of customers I am seeking and how my customers are going to take the decision. Now, a classic one is, for example, if we look at the products that we have currently, we may not seek customers on our Instagram, right? Because you need deep pockets to buy our products and services that way. So for us, it would be largely landing with the top business houses or the supply chain networks and so on, from that perspective. So that's an element which will continue.
Can I just flip and ask this entire thing? Because I think FedEx has done some iconic work from that point of view. From 1930s to today, we always do things last minute, right? That's the demand that you serve, right? When it has to be overnight or whatever kind of stuff, has technology changed the basic core human truth that there is always going to be emergency, and you are kind of pounding on that emergency, and you are, in one sense, extracting value out of that need to kind of, or need to be sure and need to be there kind of stuff, right? That hasn't changed. Okay. How you would communicate that across in a B2B environment today, among the pipes that are available today, is going to change, right? So, some anchors and some.
Actually, if you look at so how I would evaluate FedEx, really, not from an emergency point of view, I would rather go in the reliability space or the safety space. So if I give it to, if the courier is going through FedEx or it's going through DHL, then I mean DHL Blue Dart actually is. So then I'm assured that it will reach. And more importantly, earlier also what demarcated FedEx in comparison to others is the way in which I'd be able to track my my goods and services, whether it is reached the location, whether it is reached on time. And the other point was, if it has not reached, I knew I can call back on that number and they will.
So building on the same thing, when it absolutely has to reach there overnight, etc., right? Those are pieces. Today, technology might have changed, that there is a RFID tag, or you are getting a minute-to-minute tracking. So those technologies kind of empowered the living up of that proposition slightly more, right? But it is here, right?
With psychology, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to know it has gone. Gone. You call up, chala gaya.
But I'm saying the need from 1920s till now.
Okay, so let me give you two facts, because we are talking about scans and so on. FedEx came into picture in 1973. And in 78, the founder chairman, and it's famously known everywhere, Fed Smith, he actually spoke about one thing. The customer is not worried about when the product, about the product. They're worried about where my product is.
Right. Yeah.
Hence, let's bring in the scanners. So since 1978, scanners were brought in. The first airport in the world to have automated scanning was an airport called Memphis in Tennessee, and that's FedEx Hub. global hub. And then it has been picked up everywhere, what you know, what you see. So that's very important. The scanning today also, one of the key parameters on which we measure our performance is our scan compliances.
No, sorry.
Can I give up?
Just one tiny bit, just belaboring that point. Go back to the point that you said the customer is worried about where my product is. Scan is a means to be doing that. Tomorrow, some technology might come which might do that job maybe slightly even better. It might even put a camera on top of it saying, you can see where it is, kind of stuff. Those things will evolve. But I'm worried where stuff that is valuable, that is.
No, I have a different view on that. So that's why I was thinking, I know we kept talking about in a very different way, provocatively. I think this whole algo business is going to create brand proliferation strategy for the companies.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have an ability to do a la carte brand. And so you can actually sharply target personalized brand. Actually, you can create with these algos. Now, the question is that it's going to open up a different approach to the brand creation itself. So the whole brand proliferation of, if you remember, the P&Gs and levers used to come up with detergents for all kinds of stuff, right? Similarly, Tylenol for 100 types of headaches. You can actually do with these algos sharply targeted people who are having the specific headache. You can actually give them a specific brand of solution. So I personally feel it's an opportunity. It's a big challenge. Rather than somebody is saying, I'm going to have one big brand, how am I going to deal with that? Versus, can I have a multiple brands?
The answer is you will have to have multiple brands. You can't live with one brand depending on the product segment that you are in.
Like 361, he is having one brand separately now.
So like Minimalist, to your example, is a pure brand that's been created like this, right? We've never seen Minimalist on any of the shelves. And it's a 3,000 crore brand. It's all thanks to digital. It's a pure digital brand. I mean, majority of it.
Brand was something different. Digital space only helped accelerate that journey. They have a promise. There are 10,000 companies today in India which are making similar products.
No, but I have a point. So I think also digital acceleration also increases the expectation of the consumer. Like, for example, he said, we need to know where my product is in the journey. Like that day we were just discussing, why would you want a PlayStation in 8 minutes? The answer was, why not?
Yeah.
So that's the expectation the consumer has today. It's only because of...
Sir had a point, I think, last.
No, sorry. Only thing I said is there are going to be some industries in which, like you said, the Amazons and the Cardecos of the world will become the brand, and they will guide you to the secondary brand. So that's one thing that's going to kind of happen, and that's what you said.
Yeah.
Instant gratification. There is also going to be the other world where you'll come back and say, what is the unique proposition which you have? For example, if millisecond matters to you, the financial world is going to depend on algorithm which will deliver the extra millisecond.
Yeah.
Then all the brand dhare ke dhare reh jayenge, the algorithm will there.
Yes, right.
Yeah. The third part is where you are looking at when you're going to buy a Rolls Royce, you're not going to be this one about the algorithms that are there. You're going to buy it because, and then the 5 things that you said, somewhere risk will become the opportunity.
Correct.
Yeah, you're going to spend more because you don't want to spend less there. You want to, risk is about more. So I think there are this, and we can't commonize everything and say there is one.
There's a spectrum.
Yeah, there's a spectrum.
I mean, every product will have its separate way of looking at it and the way the consumer is going to look at it. So it's not going to be one size fits all for sure.
Already in the medicine world, it's happening. Personalized medicines. Based on genetic, you will get exact drug.
Yes, you will get correct. And that's the whole research which is going on, right? I mean, the DNA-based medicine, prediction of a possibility after 30 years that you might be having a heart trouble or whatever may be the case. It's happening. It will be happening.